So, I'm going to do a little rant. Hold on one second. Let me get this off of there, because my name and address is on there, and I don't want people sending me free stuff. That would be terrible. Alrighty. This is I guess a mini rant about e-replacement parts. You know, e-replacement parts 10, 12, 15 years ago, that was the place to go for parts. You know, it was one of the few places that had everything you needed for parts, and they had schematics that you could look at and pick your part, and it gave you part numbers. And they were expensive, but the convenience of having, you know, a huge website with every part known to man. Okay, now it's a dozen or more years later, and they still have the original website that they started with. It's absolutely not iPhone friendly. They don't have an iPhone app. You gotta search high and low to sign in on your iPhone, and who doesn't use an iPhone nowadays? Or not necessarily an iPhone, but a smartphone. So their website is for a computer and not a smartphone. A year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, I was looking at e-replacement parts for a part. And I found it, and I put it in my cart. Okay, and I didn't order it. I just put it in my cart and never went back. I found it somewhere else for half price. All right, phone call again. So I didn't order this. I just left it in my cart, and a year and a half later, I go back and I order these two parts. And this shows up with it, and they've charged me for it. And it's $10 part. So I just got off the phone with them. And it's going to cost me like $7 to ship a $10 part back. So all I'll get is $3. So I'm going to end up hanging on to this. I'll use it for something. $3 is worth putting in my stock. 14 days it took to get these two parts. 14 days. The parts that I got 2 days ago took about 16 days to get, and they didn't send me all the parts, but they charged me for all the parts. It was clutch parts, and I was supposed to get an E-clip or a C-clip. I call it a C-clip. Some people call it a E-clip, and some people call it a circlet. But I've always called it a C-clip. And basically it's a snap ring that goes on the outside of a groove post instead of the inside. So they didn't send me that with a clutch. Well, you can't hold the clutch on without the C-clip. So I called them and asked them where the C-clip was. They said, oh, the C-clip has been discontinued. I said, well, you charged me for it. So they're going to refund the money, and it could take up to 45 days to get my money back. This e-replacement has just been one debacle after another. I've never seen parts take so long to get here. And I am going to make every effort to never order from e-replacement parts again. Their website sucks. The people that answer the phone are rude, unfriendly, and could care less about the fact that they've sent you a part you didn't order, or charge you for a part they no longer stock or even sell. And yeah, what a mess. E-replacement parts absolutely sucks. There's so many other websites out there. Jack Small Engines, Partstree.com, eBay, Amazon. I mean, here's an example. I looked at e-replacement parts yesterday. This lawnmower that I got, the Cub Cadet, I'm going to replace all 3 belts. Well, I didn't know the belt numbers, but I know e-replacement parts has the schematics, and you can blow them up. And not only can you get the look at the blow up, but you can get the part number. So I wrote the part number down. On e-replacement, the belts were about $35 a piece at e-replacement. And on Amazon, I bought Kevlar belts, high quality belts, for about $12 a piece. That's the difference. E-replacement parts is twice what everybody else charges for the same exact parts. And their shipping is high. I'm Prime member, so most everything I buy on Amazon is free shipping. And there's just too many other places to order parts out there to ever go back to eReplacement Parts. And now, since I'm talking, let me tell you the little story about this Cub Cadet. Let me get comfortable. The guy I bought the Cub Cadet from asked me if I would let him know what was wrong with it when I fixed it, because he had messed with it for a year or more and, couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. So I said, sure. So yesterday I sent him a text telling him what was wrong with it. And one text led to another, and eventually he said he felt like he got taken advantage of. Well, he was asking $375 for this. Now, keep in mind, it's a non-running lawnmower. He doesn't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what's wrong with it. It could be something simple. It could be something unfixable. When I buy something that's not running, I'm gambling my money that I may be able to get it running. And most often I can, but there are times when I've spent good money on something that turned out to be unfixable. And the best I could get out of it was parts for something else. So it's a gamble on my end when I buy something not running. He wanted $375 for that lawnmower, and I offered him $200 and a chainsaw that I had on Craigslist for $75. So he took it. So basically he got $275 for it. And really, I had $10 into the chainsaw, so I gave $210 for it. Well, anyway, we had a few texts back and forth, and he felt like he was taken advantage of. And after a few more texts, I realized that he was just the typical whiny millennial. And I said, you know what? I will bring this back to you. You just give me my money back and a couple of dollars for fixing it, and we'll call it quits. I don't want nothing to do with, I don't want to go through the rest of my life having someone think I took advantage of them. And anyway, I offered to give it back, gave my money back, pay me a few dollars for fixing it and hauling it, and, we'll call it a day. And anyway, he didn't want to. He said, no, I've already got a lawnmower, and I was just totally blown away that he didn't understand that people are not going to buy a broken lawnmower and put a lot of money into something that quite likely, or just as likely, may not work. I mean, it's a 50-50 crapshoot, For most people, I have a little more experience in small engines, so I have a greater chance of getting them fixed, but I still run the risk of not getting them fixed, because I'm not an expert. And, I was really happy when I got it fixed and really proud of myself, and then when he said that he felt like he took advantage, it just knocked the wind right out of my sails, man. I was really wanting to just give the damn thing back to him and get my money back and forget about it. And anyway, I thought about that all night last night, and even this morning I woke up thinking about, to me, this is I won't read all the text messages, but it was the typical millennial attitude that it was okay selling it to me if I couldn't get it fixed. But when I got it fixed easy, he was not happy about that. And on the other hand, if I got it home and the motor was blown and I couldn't fix it, do you think he'd give me my money back? Hell no. So he's okay with me taking a chance with $200. And anyway, that's too much talking. 7 minutes of talking. Sorry about that. eReplacement sucks. Never again. And next time I buy something broken from somebody and they want me to text them and let them know what's wrong with it, fat chance. Have a good day, y'all. Stay tuned for eggs. Now for mine. Oh yeah, just a little bit of butter. Bon appetit.